It is May 31st, 2019, and this is 28 years, 11 months, and 5 days for me of no masturbation and no porn. That's my sobriety date, how long I've been sexually sober from PMO. Today, we have a question from two men. One is Boyan Chen from Atlanta, Georgia, United States of America, and the other is Nabil Khan from London, the United Kingdom. Both of these men who are on this secret Facebook site, NoFap Success, which is growing by leaps and bounds here the last couple of months. They want to know about how to overcome urges. Okay. Now there are, if you look back several weeks, you'll find the 7 steps of how to overcome this addiction, if there's a cure. If you read the second one, it will tell you about what I'm going to talk about a little bit more now. There are 3 traditional tools that we use in 12-step. Let me tell you what 12-step is. In June 10th of 1935, a man named Bill Wilson, who was a stockbroker from New York City, met a doctor named Dr. Smith, Bob Smith, and they got together, and they were terrible alcoholics, and they couldn't stop drinking. And they met, and on that day, they began to share their stories with each other, and they created a fellowship called Alcoholics Anonymous. And it was the very first 12-step group ever. Now, there are over 400 types of 12-step groups now throughout the world. But that was started, in about 2 weeks, it'll be 84 years ago. And that fellowship, they found out is if they talked to each other, that was the beginning of their recovery. And they started Alcoholics Anonymous, the first 12-step group. And in that group, they have something called the 12 steps. The last 3 steps, 10, 11, and 12, are the ones that you do to deal with urges. Number 10 says, we continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admit it. So the first thing to do to stop urges is every day, write down what you did. I masturbated today, I used porn today, or I had sex with a prostitute today, or I didn't do that. I prayed and meditated. I wrote down an inventory of myself. I helped another human being stop using porn. I was doing service. You write it down every day, very shortly, a couple, 3 sentences. That's called step 10, taking an inventory. Now, it may sound kind of boring because, the problem with the NoFap groups is they're just chatty. Everybody just wants to talk. Nobody wants to do anything. But if you're going to recover, you have to take action. It's not a talk program. It's an action program. A talk doesn't cook rice. You have to work if you're going to get well and stay well. I know because I've got 28 years, 11 months, and 5 days of working, not talking. So you have to write down. So if you're sitting there saying, oh, poor me, I don't want to write it down. I don't like to work. Then you're just going to stay in porn all your life, which is going to ruin your life. It's going to ruin your wife's life. It's going to ruin your children's life, your parents' life, your friends, your bosses, and your employees. And everybody around you, it's going to just ruin them because you're going to be emotionally shut down. Or you can man up and say, that guy said to write down 2 sentences, and I can spare 2 sentences. So step 10, we continue to take personal inventory, and when we're wrong, promptly admit it. Step 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact as we understood him. That means you can choose any God you want, asking only for knowledge of God's will for us and the power to carry it out. That means every day, whether you like it or not, you find a God of your understanding. And we don't have to find a Christian God or a Hindu God or a Muslim God or a Jewish God or a Sikh or Sunni God. You don't have to have any of that. But you do have to find something that will help you. Now, I like Gandhi's definition. God is truth. That means if I tell you the truth and you tell me the truth, God shows up between us. Anybody can understand that. Another conception of God that I like is God in community. Like me doing this for you creates community. You watching this, me talking, creates community. And that, us together, is stronger than you, and it's stronger than me. God in community. The Christians call it the Holy Spirit. The 12-steppers call it higher power. It doesn't matter what you call it, but you've got to find something that's got more power than just you by yourself. And you deal with that. You pray and meditate, and you contact that. So you have to do prayer and meditation, whether you like it or not. Think about it. Is it worth meditating for 5 minutes to stop using porn every day? Are you tired of people walking in your room and finding you masturbating? Are you tired of that shame? Are you tired of looking at yourself in the mirror and feeling self-hatred and self-loathing and despair? Are you tired of being afraid to talk to women because you've got no sexual energy? Then think about it. Maybe I spend 5 minutes meditating today. The third thing, and this is the most important thing, step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to other PMO addicts and to practice these principles in all our affairs. The reason I'm doing this right now for you is not for you, it's for me. Because unselfish service on my part helps me stay sober. That's God's secret. That's God's secret about this. If you help other people, God blesses you and you get well. Service. That's the secret. That's why I've got 28 years, 11 months, and 5. That's the reason. That's the reason. So, inventory every day, couple sentences. You can write it down on Monks, which is, if you're not a member of Monks on Facebook, send me a Facebook request and I'll add you. And you just write it down there. Just be honest and simple. Pray and meditate 5 minutes a day and help another PMO addict. Yeah, by the way, you can't help old ladies across the street and do things, be a Boy Scout. That's not going to do you any good. You've got to help people who have the same affliction that you've got get well. And that's the way God blesses you. As you treat others, God treats you. So service. So it's inventory, prayer, meditation, and service. That is the way to overcome the urges. Thank you, Boyan, and thank you, Nabil, for these questions. And we'll see you in the next video.